he demonstrated how strong his front flipper is. So far today I've talked about some of the differences between seals and sea lions. Right now I want to tell you about something that they have in common, and that is a very scary predator. Tyler actually does an imitation of this predator. See if you can guess what it is. Ready, Tyler? Let's go. Good boy. And for everybody who litters and throws their cigarettes on the ground, what do you think? He's going to do the YMCA, and he's going to make the letters with his front flippers. Now he's been having trouble with the M a little bit lately, so we might have to do it more than once, but you're going to give it your best try, right? Okay, here we go. Y, M, nope, let's try one again. Y, M, got it. One more time. You got the C and the A down, but you can't get the M down. One more time, okay? Y, M, C, A. Good boy, guys.
I do.
And here's the tropical fish.
Normally I don't do
This is a display of living corals. You can see them moving.
Here? This guy looks like a down there. Look at the other one down there. Oh yeah, let's take a picture. Where? I haven't seen anything. Oh yeah, it does. Where? What's that giant?
These look like babies, but they're full-grown little blue penguins. This one keeps trembling almost, but then he opens his mouth and squawks something.
And here we have the first penguin to ever think it can fly. It was trying a minute ago. Let's see if it goes again in a second.
Oh, they're done with their showers, Jack.
Fly!
Now what are they doing? Itching themselves? That's what Jack
Fly.
does all the time. I'm itchy.
Could I take a quick look? Just hold it up.
Very careful.
I think they're just trying to buy control on their body.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the big shark. Woo! Look at the turtles, the turtles. Big
And here we are at Boston Harbor. Part of it anyway. We didn't go on the whale watch because the sea was happy, but we probably could have after all. We went to the aquarium instead. Had a good time. And continuing the panorama. And all of a sudden the boys think instead of going to eat, this is more interesting, watching the skateboarders. Oops.
No, I'm lost.
Okay, here we are at in Bar Harbor at, what's the name of the place? Atlantic
Acadia.
Oaks.
Atlantic Oaks, yeah.
And this is our room.
Atlantic Oaks by the sea.
Let's go, Minnie, go.
And we didn't think we were going to have an ocean view, but we do. Unfortunately, we also have a view of some electrical lines and stuff like that too. There's a swimming pool and wet paint on our porch, on our balcony.
Awesome.
Thank you. It's about 5:10, 5:15 in the morning on the Cadillac Mountain in Acadia. Our tour book said to come up here to view the sunrise. So apparently other people have that book. So we read that this is the east of Brazil or something like that. It's the highest.
It's the most easterly point north of Brazil. We read it again last night.
It's also the highest mountain on the east coast.
So it's the first place
The sunrises.
to see the sunrise.
The camera captures it.
Well, everybody left within about 5 minutes of the sunrise. We walked the little loop road, and now we're back in our car having coffee and cinnamon rolls. I think what's out there are the Cranberry Islands, and one that has a bar coming out of it, a sandbar, we think is where there's a hike that we might try later. You have to do it, of course, just at the right time of the tides. And the sun is up and behind those clouds now. Hopefully the clouds will clear up and we'll have a nice day for hiking. And what I forgot to mention a few minutes ago is that Bar Harbor is the town that's right down at the bottom here. Zoom in a bit. A couple of boats are out this morning. Probably were out all night. And where we're staying is about a mile down this way.
Well, I can't remember if this is called Sand Beach or Sandy Beach, but it's really very pretty. It's a pretty day, mid to high 70s. I guess the water's fairly cold, about 55 degrees. Nice sailboat out on a beautiful day. Here we are on Great Head Trail, just a little ways up, looking down at the beach. And some wildlife.
Are you guys going to smile or anything?
More wildlife.
Wildflowers down here.
And we're at a place called Great Head. Seem to have lost Andrew and Alex. They went way on ahead of us. There was a fork in the road. We took the way that was marked, and nobody we've passed has really seen them, so we think that they went the other way. But that would circle around eventually anyway and come back to the beach. So we're confident we'll find them sometime. This is a particularly pretty point. I'll take a photo. And here we are. We found Andrew and Alex again. Oh, we've lost them again. Oh, there they are.
We almost thought we were going to be empty nesters a little earlier than planned.
Just wanted to get a little bit of waves crashing up into the rock, but they're really not crashing very hard, just sort of lapping right now.
They're very pretty.
Yep.
And they have big seagulls here.
And here's a nice little tide pool.
Oh, I just saw a crab crawling in there. It's still crawling in there. It's right in the center. Do you see where the water level comes off in a curve here? Where the water...
We're checking out some tide pools down by Otter Point. Tide's starting to come in.
Right.
Okay, go.
This is Bubble Rock, and it's a glacial erratic dumped here by a glacier, 12 to 14 tons, and it looks like it could come dislodged, but it can't. It's stuck there. We just walked
like 3/10 of a mile to see it, and got here and thought, big whoop, it's
Well, we
not
could've-
really worth it.
We could have done a mile
We could have
hike.
climbed to the top of it, yeah.
Not in front.
We're at Bubble Pond. Prettier than Bubble Rock. Kind of noisy. And there are Andrew and Alex going in the water. There's Alex going in. Andrew's in already. Yeah, Alex is going in. There he goes. On the way driving here, Jill read an interesting story to us about Sir Henry Oakes, who originally owned that mansion over there and was murdered. Now a bed and breakfast. He was murdered mysteriously after being born in this area, and went to Canada, became politically active, and eventually went to London, became a baron, and returned here. Well, he also discovered gold and was extremely wealthy. Jill's
And I'm trying to figure out where we're going for supper tonight and where we're going to go tomorrow, and studying all our books. We're saying
just had a great lobster dinner. Now we're out towards the wharf in Bar Harbor. Great schooner out there. That's a 4-mast schooner.
And then get your son.
And what's this?
Alex is very proud of his bib.
It's a New England lobster eater.
Uh-oh, hang on to it.
And the schooner is disappearing behind the island.
I think we should walk down here. I want to see.
Okay. Here's a boat coming in, wondering if maybe it's carrying some lobster.
We could show the lobster cages down here.
Some lobster cages. Schooner's back out there.
should I narrate? This is the Amadinda. It's a pentatonic Ugandan garden xylophone. Yes, that's perfect.
Sea kayaks are probably coming back from a sea kayak adventure, coming back to roost at the dock here.
assured me that it was impossible to tip these over.
I'd find a way. Here we are at Pirates Cove, the evening's entertainment.
You're next to sit down.
You go, Andrew.
Right, and Howie's about ready to tee off here. Sizing it up, moving his ball into perfect position. And there he goes.
I could do better standing on one leg. One leg, Would you like to visit the shark pond? Sorry, Captain. Knowing these landlubbers just the same.
All right, did you get that?
Yeah. This is Northeast Harbor. We were told about this by the concierge at our resort hotel. That this is a place for sort of upper crust people and big yachts and sailboats that don't leave the marina very often. And because they're mostly party boats, people come and entertain on them. There's some beautiful vessels. Beautiful sailboat there.
And as we were driving along, we came upon this little cove. It's very pretty. We're kind of past the best area now, but people out there with their rowboats. And this is, again, part of Northeast Harbor. Lots of fancy old homes in the area. Lots of fancy new yachts. Lots of old money. Probably lots of new money too. Very pretty area. I can't really hold this still enough, but this area is called Some, S-O-M-E, Sound. We said we need to look up the definition of a sound because they also say that it's a fjord. And I think I don't know, something special about it being one of the only fjords in North America. That over there is another peninsula. And that's where we're going to be driving in a few minutes. We're still on North Harbor now, but I believe we're going to be driving over there, which you can see in the distance, to Southeast Harbor, which will have a very different feel to it. And here we're at Ike's Point, which is a boat launching area for Echo Lake. Just a perfect canoe launching area. A few people had that idea. Isn't that a peaceful scene?
This is Echo Lake. Many more people in the water than yesterday at Sand Lake. So it must be quite a bit warmer.
And here we are at the overlook of Echo Lake, looking down at the beach where we just were, trying to decide if we're going to, at least a few of us perhaps, go up the summit, which would be several rungs, several ladders with rungs that climb up the side of the cliff. And we've reached our first ladder. Andrew's going up. We don't know how many of these we'll take. We heard there's 4 of them. Once they get to a sheer cliff, we're definitely not going to do any more. So nice up there? Yeah. Comes Howie up the rungs. Made it through one.
I think the harder part will be coming down.
I think so too. And here's the second ladder. Up the side of the mountain. And Howie's almost to the top. 4 more steps to go. Alright, we climbed the mountain. Beach Mountain. And here we are looking down at that same beach. And a continuation of Echo Lake, which goes way back in there. And off in the distance is Southwest Harbor, where we're headed next for lunch. And then going down the ladder is another matter, especially getting started.
Did you get a view?
Here we are in Southwest Harbor. Much more of a lobstering place. The boats that we see are mostly not pleasure boats. They're just as many lobster boats.
You're off, right?
No.
Barrel was full of lobsters.
Order number 21 is rising past galley number 21.
I think the lobsters here would be pretty fresh, don't you?
Yeah. See, every now and then you get a glimpse of one. There. They're still alive.
Would you expect them to be dead?
Not for inspection. Excellent, enjoy. And here's the real Maine with all the lobster cages. We just saw them load up a bunch of bait into a couple of the boats that went out. We read that most lobster fishermen put out about 500 or 600 cages in a day, and we assume they bring them all back, and they all have their own colored buoys which float on the top, and the cages are lowered to the bottom. And we're getting ready to eat some crab bisque and haddock sandwich and scallop chowder, and in the background are more wharfs with a whole bunch more lobster cages all stacked up. We're now at the southernmost tip of Mount Desert Island, walking down toward a lighthouse. Always trying to get parking. And here it is, built in 1858. Maybe this was the bell that was on it originally. We're hearing bells out over there somewhere. We're not sure where the bells are coming from. Great view out there, all the way across. And there's some pretty wild roses growing up here on the bluff. Surviving the elements. And the view in the other direction.
This is Ship Harbor Nature Trail. The trail took us through some forest actually, and now to the ocean front. There's some nice tidal pools down there. There was a shipwreck off here a couple hundred years ago. Tidal pool. Close up. Beautiful, peaceful cove here. Here we are back on Cadillac Mountain. Saturday morning, just in time for sunrise.
Yeah, it's coming up out of the water.
Very long.
Oh, I see. You're about to get a picture of that.
Now it comes up.
Much warmer this morning. Decided to take a detour to come and see. That's right. Yeah, just trying a few little tricks, digital effects. Are we gonna go in the tower or not? I think when we were little, we did go on the Maid of the Mist. I was very young, but I kind of remember it. The boats go right into that mist.
I wonder if you can see me in a minute.
Here we are in Madison, Capitol Square. What's today? August 31st, September 1st, not sure. It's a farmer's market.
What do you do with parsnip? Oh.
All right.
This is the kind of pizza I like to eat. You know, Howard's vegetarian.
Yeah.
They made it. Andrew, isn't this fun?
Yeah.
I mean, you see all things, you see people. Well, ask one of the vendors where you're going to see them.
I'm with Ben. Where?
Long time no see. You must have gotten ahead of us somehow.
By that big stage?
I know. She had much more fun when you guys were jumping with her.
What happened to them? You can't find them.
She's smiling at you. You recognize the camera, don't you? Yeah. Let her go at her own end. Go, 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 go. Yeah, go, 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 go. Yeah, fun, fun. McKenna Joy Frog. McKenna Joy Frog.
Oh, hey, oh, hey.
Will you dance?
She really learns to put her weight on her feet then too.